And my brother, fellow royal father, the Imperial Majesty, does not seem to understand the pain in my heart when Nnamdi Kanu is in Sokoto. So, sir, the ball stops on your court. Bring this man out. If we don't want him in Nigeria, return him to Kenya or London, where they took him from. You see, some of us here are being asked to go and work, but the young people in the Southeast are so agitated, they can even beat us. Committed to the health of our people. But having come now to Abuja and listened to Professor Mohammed Pate and his team, we are now more committed. So the traditional rulers of Nigeria will now go home and work harder than before. But I must tell you, Mr. President, that personally, I don't feel very happy because you were not here in the morning. There were several speeches. We listened carefully. I listened to the opening address by His Imperial Majesty, the Ooni of Ife. And he was gingering all of us to work as a family, to work as a team, to see Nigeria as one. And then I felt maybe this is good. But when you look at it, this same Imperial Majesty is arranging to confer a very high honor on Sunday Igboho, who in my own part of Nigeria in the southeast, we see him as a counterpart of Nnamdi Kanu. And my brother, fellow royal father, the Imperial Majesty, does not seem to understand the pain in my heart when Nnamdi Kanu is in Sokoto. So, sir, the ball stops on your court. Bring this man out. If we don't want him in Nigeria, return him to Kenya or London, where they took him from. You see, some of us here are being asked to go and work, but the young people in the Southeast are so agitated, they can even beat us. They see us as sellouts. We come to Abuja, they may think we come to collect money. And then we keep quiet. So, sir, please do something about this. Do something about this. We cannot make progress in this country if we don't tell ourselves the home truth. There's no way. There's no way. Now, again, they were talking about Southern Traditional Rulers Committee on Health. And the eminent professor Patel was saying that this will become an annual event, what we are doing today, if I heard him correctly. The truth of the matter is that there is nothing like Southern Traditional Rulers Council. If you come here, Patel, and you give money to people on that basis, it's not correct. The South is not the North. We have a system. We need unity in diversity. So that people, so if you want to deal with us in the Southeast. If you have resources for us, give it to us. Don't give it to people who come and say, we are Southern Traditional Rulers Council. Democracy is a representative government. And anybody who goes to present himself without his people is not democratic. So get it. We think that we will do our best. Mr. President, we are going to support this health. Do all we can, but please listen to our cries. May God bless all of us.
So this is one of the best speech or statement ever made by someone from the Southeast on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu. Now, the speech was not made by a politician or someone in public office, but a traditional ruler. To sum it up, he's telling President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, bring Nnamdi Kanu out like you did to Sunday Igboho. If you said, if you don't want him in Nigeria, return him to Kenya or London, where the word they should have used there is where they kidnapped him from. This traditional ruler, Agubuzu, stated, he told the president right there, the ball is in your court, forget the sentence, they are giving sentence in life imprisonment. If Tinubu can pardon this woman, Marian Sanda, who killed her own husband, and because of the intense pressure that rose up, he's reversed his own decision. So he could actually pardon Nnamdi Kanu. There's nothing there. Dr. Lawrence, the Eze, Obune Chendo of Ezema Olo Kingdom in Ezeagu local government area of Enugu State, told Tinubu yesterday. In fact, it was a meeting for the Traditional Rulers Summit, Religious Leaders Summit on Health, National Traditional Religious Leaders Summit on Health. That was held at the State House, Conference Center in Abuja yesterday. So it's just like Southeast Monarch. Let me just assume that all the Southeast monarchs are in support of this man. We've been waiting for a statement so strong like this, so direct like this, not beating around the bush. The man was there, strong enough. There is no governor that have come up to make such striking statement. Let this man go. There is nothing in the conviction. He has been discharged and acquitted. The federal government went ahead and brought I don't even know how to describe the lawyer who convicted him, because Binta and Yako tried and saw that nothing convicting enough to convict the man. She withdrew. She pulled out of the case. But then they brought somebody from Yoruba land, and then he didn't even waste time. He convicted Nnamdi Kanu. So Dr. Lawrence made the plea on yesterday, during the 2026 National Traditional and Religious Leaders Summit on Health held at the State House in Abuja. The summit termed the role of traditional religious leaders in advancing the Nigeria health sector, renewed investment initiative focused on community engagement in healthcare reforms, and included the signing of a compact by leaders to champion health delivery in their domains. While he was speaking, it was his time to speak to. It was like a goodwill message. The traditional ruler addressed President Bola Tinubu, warning that Nnamdi Kanu's continued detention following his life imprisonment, conviction last year, late last year 2025, on terrorism-related charges, is fueling widespread agitation and unrest among youths in the southeast region. And then he was clear on what he wanted, or what Igbo wanted. Bring this man out. If you don't want him in Nigeria, return him to Kenya or London, where they took him from. I wish he would have used. Yeah, he's a traditional ruler. There are some words he shouldn't have. He should not use. He should have used the word where they kidnapped him from. El-Rufai is here now making inflammatory comments, saying that National Security Advisor imported, banned substances, saying all sorts of things, and no one is convicting this man. So he emphasized that ignoring the issue risks portraying traditional rulers as sellouts in the eyes of the younger generation. In fact, he said they could beat us. He said the youth could beat them as traditional rulers, and it's happening in the north. These bandits, Boko Haram, or whichever name they are going with, that have now been armed by politicians, don't have respect for religious leaders. They don't have respect for traditional rulers. They are doing whatever thing they want. They will abduct traditional ruler and they will beat the traditional ruler like kids. So the man was clear on what he wanted. Bring this man out. He told President Bola Tinubu, do something about this. We cannot make progress in this country if we don't tell ourselves the truth. He said, now he also made a point. He said there is nothing like southern traditional rulers. The north is the north. They understand themselves. Hausa and Fulani, they work together. But when you say south, you mean Yoruba, you mean Igbos, you mean Efik, you mean South and all that. We don't have the same culture. We don't have the same culture. So how will you look at the Hausa people, they almost have the same culture. They do everything, they understand themselves. But that's not the same thing with the South. In fact, this man made striking statements. He raised key points that many of his colleagues could not even make, even some politicians. You cannot say southern traditional rulers or southern traditional rulers, and maybe something that he said democracy is a representation, and that's what democracy is all about. You cannot just say that southern traditional rulers and something that is meant for traditional rulers, you bring it to south. Yoruba people will take all of it. I'm not hiding out. So he made also a point where the monarch, the Imperial Majesty, Ooni of Ife, he's on the verge of awarding or crowning Sunday Igboho, one of the highest and traditional titles in Yoruba land. While his counterpart, he used the word counterpart, because it was at the same time that Sunday Igboho was agitating for Oduduwa Republic. That was the same time that Nnamdi Kanu was also agitating for the Igbos. And what Sunday Igboho was agitating for, is it not happening in Kwara State now? Fulani militia have overrun the state. Buying people like they are doing that you do to Christmas chicken. And then the government came and did a report that no, it was only 75 people that had issue. We are still counting. Few days after, these Fulani militia released videos of hundreds of people that are in their custody. After the government, Kwara State, claimed that the casualty was not much, we could count 75. Government of damage control. So something is wrong with this country. Until we rise up together and begin to call a spade, say it the way it is, we cannot be free. We cannot defeat this monster called Fulani militia, Fulani herdsmen, whatever thing called Fulani, because we have now got a problem of Fulani in Nigeria. So the disparities of treatment cannot continue. So while he was speaking, President Bola Tinubu was clapping. I don't know if that clap means something different, or if that clap means that he's going to use his authority as the Grand Commander in Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as the number one citizen of the country. I don't know if he's going to mean something tangible going forward. He was convicted. They saying, look, he doesn't need to have access to That's one of the most wicked conviction ever. He doesn't need to have access to mobile phone, that he should not only use a mobile phone, and that they should put him at a prison that is more secured. Can you imagine? And so they took him to Sokoto State. And then we see Igbo people, politicians just fighting. You want to be included, you want to be included. You can never be included in this government. We see government of disparity, government of greed, government of marginalization. So for those Igbo politicians who claim, it's time, we need to join. Yeah, it's good to join them. It's good to join them. But what are your demands as you join them? If you join them, you join APC, yes, you cannot, you don't want to be included, and then you're outside. Fine. While you are inside, what are your demands? What are your demands from Democratic Republic of Nigeria? What are your demands? Now we have seen the South ruled. South has ruled Nigeria. That's Goodluck Jonathan. South is now the Senate president, and is regarded as the Igbo, as the South, representation of Nigeria. We just from Goodluck Jonathan as president, then it gets down to Godswill Akpabio, still from the South, and then Igbos are yet to produce Senate president for a long time. Ike Ekwemadu ended as deputy Senate president. When will Igbos have a Senate president? When will Igbos have a House of Rep member? It's been long. I don't even know if I was born when last Igbos became, someone from Igbo land, became House of Speaker, House of Reps. Emeki Hedioha ended as deputy speaker, and now we have Benjamin Kalu also from Abia State. He's the deputy speaker. So we continue to deputize. And most times, if you are a deputy, you are just a figurehead. He won't do anything. You just follow others in the pew. It's a disgrace. So the man was clear on what Nnamdi Igbo wanted, what the Igbo people wanted. Get this man out. There is no substance in the ruling that the judge used to convict him. Nothing. So I don't know if Tinubu is going to make anything out of what this man said, because these are clear demands. He didn't mince words, even though it was a meeting for religious and traditional rulers on Health Summit. But then you don't get that opportunity all the time. I don't know whenever they are going to meet. As the way this government operates, I believe that if there is ever going to be another meeting on Health Summit, they won't let this man speak. They won't let him speak. But I'm glad he had his time. He had all the time in the world, and he delivered it the way he should, brutally. And the world is watching. Everyone has heard him. We all have heard him. And the video is going viral. So we'll see what the president will do with such statement and such demand. It's not too much. It's not too much demand. If the president could walk up and start, pardoning people randomly, I don't know if they, maybe they intimated him or they notified him well, clarified him on who is pardoning. You pardon drug dealers, you pardon people a woman that killed her husband, and then you came back and said, we started hearing she has 7 more years. Even if it's 20 more years, he's going to come out. So something has to be done. Government of marginalization will not make this country. It will mar this country. It will mar this country one day. If you continue to marginalize a certain group of people. Nigeria is made up of hundreds of tribes, but the three recognized tribe is Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba. So why is it that Igbos are always not in that representation? They end up being deputy. They are deputizing. How long will Igbo people deputize in Nigerian government? How long will Igbo people continue to be marginalized? How long will they continue to use different balance on their ways of dealing with Nigerians when it gets to do with Igbo people? So something has to be done, and I don't see it happening very soon, because Igbos, like the man said, they are sellouts. They are sellouts. He said they are seeing them as sellouts, because I love what the man said, because after that meeting, traditional rulers and religious leaders on Health Summit, what many Igbo people feel and believe is that these people have just been paid. We have gone to Abuja, they had a meeting, they've just gone there to sell us out, to collect money. But I'm glad the man was there and was brutal with what Igbo people wanted. So we hope to see drastic changes. We hope to see some adjustments as to the way Igbos are treated in Nigeria.